The most important week on the Christian calendar is upon us. It's Holy Week or Easter week, and I pray that we are getting excited and also serious about what we choose to remember and be transformed by. I pray for maybe the first time ever. The passage that's going to guide us this week as we open up God's Word is Philippians chapter 3, verse 10, where Paul says this one little beautiful phrase, that I may know Him and the power of His resurrection. Just look at that for a second and just hear it again. That I may know Him, Christ, and the power of His resurrection. You know, as we approach again this Easter weekend, I think the day that is often not talked about, I understand why, is the Saturday, the day between Friday and, of course, Sunday. What I try to do, and I commend this to you too, is I try to place myself in the text. I try to place myself within the Easter story and then try to imagine what it must have been like after Good Friday when Jesus, of course, was horrifically crucified. And then you have this time in between Friday and Sunday where the disciples and all those who loved Jesus, they did not know what was going to happen. They didn't know Sunday was coming. They didn't know He was going to be raised from the dead. They were struggling with faith. They were fighting despair. They were, shedding tears. Were they weeping all the time? I mean, just how lonely was Friday night? How lonely and how depressing was Saturday? I mean, think about it. With all the noise of Friday, with all the commotion, all the accusations, all the murderous threats, and then Jesus dying, all that in Jerusalem had now ceased. Was it silent? Was it so quiet? Was there kind of an eerie kind of peace around this city as people were talking quietly among themselves? Again, place yourself in there. Saturday, so set aside on its own, so different than Friday, and of course, Sunday. Now, why is it powerful to think on Saturday? Because it only sets up more and more the wonder of Sunday. When you consider, when you place yourself in that moment as a disciple of Mary or John or Peter, and then Sunday morning comes after Friday night and Saturday, what would happen to you the moment you knew? You say, knew what? The moment you knew for the first time that He was no longer dead, but Jesus Christ was risen from the dead. Again, think about it. Mary speaks to the angel. Peter hears the report. John runs to the tomb. Thomas, a few days later, touching the very scars of Jesus Himself. Put yourself in that situation. Imagine being one of them. Imagine the initial joy of your heart as you realized, as your brain registered, He's not dead, He's alive. Imagine how much your heart would physically pound out of your chest as you ran to the tomb. And is it real? Is it real? Did it actually happen? And it did. All of this to set up this incredible truth of this Easter weekend upon us right now. This is the power of knowing what is actually true, what had actually happened. What? As the angel said, He is not here. He is risen. This is the truth and the power of knowing Christ and His resurrection. Everything changed. Everything changed with the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Again, Philippians 3 verse 10, that I may know Him and the power of His resurrection. What does that mean? It means you know sin has been paid by Jesus, that death has been defeated as He's raised from the dead, that Satan has been vanquished. Do you know the power of the resurrection? Call us today. We'll introduce you to the one who will give you this power of life over death. 1-866-273-4444. Call us to know the resurrection power of Jesus Christ.